Imagine this. You wake up, you check your phone, and you see this message from your boss. We need to talk. Scary, right? Today, we talk about jobs and the workplace, so you can feel more confident in English when you see messages like that.
And if you want a cool English sidekick for your daily life, make sure you subscribe to Sidekick English, like this podcast, and share it with a friend who also wants to improve their English. It really helps us, and you never miss a new episode.
Okay, let's go to work. Job and workplace vocabulary, but don't worry, no homework, no boss, and no alarm clock here.
Let's start with the basics. A job. A job is what you do to earn money. For example, my job is English teacher. Some common jobs are doctor, nurse, engineer, designer, waiter, cashier, taxi driver, and so on.
And we can ask about jobs with a simple question, what do you do? For example, I can ask Theo, what do you do? And he can say, I'm an English teacher. Or, I work as an English teacher. Or, I work in education. All of these are okay and natural.
Notice something simple. We usually say, I'm a teacher, or I'm an engineer. We use a or an. We say a teacher, an engineer, an artist, a manager. But we do not say, I'm engineer, without an. That sounds strange.
And if you don't have a job right now, that's okay too. You can say, I'm looking for a job, or I'm between jobs right now, or I'm a student, or I'm a freelancer.
Freelancer is a fun word. A freelancer is a person who is not a full-time employee in one company. They work for different clients. For example, a freelance designer, a freelance programmer, a freelance photographer.
Now, a job usually happens in a place. That place is the workplace. For example, a hospital, a school, an office, a shop, a restaurant, a factory. I can say, my workplace is very small, or my workplace is very noisy.
And now, the big modern question, do you work from home or in an office? Many people today work from home. We can say, I work from home or I work remotely. Remote work means you don't go to the company building. You work using the internet, your laptop, video calls, and emails.
Let's imagine a character. His name is, actually no, we promised, just us. So imagine Theo. Let's imagine Theo as an office worker. He wakes up at 7 a.m., drinks coffee, checks his phone, and thinks, do I really need this job? Then he goes to the office.
Very realistic. And now let's imagine Maya working from home. She wakes up at 9 a.m., drinks coffee in her pajamas, opens her laptop, and only looks professional from the waist up for video calls.
Honestly, that is too accurate. But these simple sentences are useful to talk about your workday. For example, I wake up at 7. I start work at 9. I finish work at 5. I go to the office. I work from home. I have a meeting.
Meeting is another key word. In the workplace, we have meetings all the time. A meeting is when people sit together and talk about work. It can be a video call or in person. We can say, I have a meeting at 10, or our team meeting is on Monday.
Sometimes meetings are useful. Sometimes meetings are just people talking and nothing happens. You know that type of meeting, but okay, more vocabulary. At your job, you usually have a boss. Your boss is the person who is responsible for you and your work.
For example, my boss is very strict, or my boss is very friendly. We also have colleagues or coworkers. These are the people who work with you in the same company or team. We can say, I like my colleagues, or my coworkers are very helpful.
Or my coworkers are very noisy, or my colleague always drinks my coffee. Not good. Now we also have working hours. That is the time you work. For example, I work from 9 to 5, or I work night shifts. A shift is a period of work. Night shift, day shift, morning shift, evening shift.
Many jobs use shifts, like nurses, workers in factories, security guards, and people who work in restaurants or supermarkets. So you can say, I'm on the night shift this week, or I have a long shift today.
Next, let's talk about salary. So, money. The reason many people wake up and go to work. Salary is the money you get every month. For example, the salary is good, or the salary is not very high. We can also say pay. The pay is good, the pay is bad.
And if we talk about one specific time you receive salary, we can say paycheck. For example, I get my paycheck at the end of the month. Or, when I see my paycheck, I want to cry.
Same. Now, how do we talk about liking or not liking our job? Very simple sentences. I like my job. I don't like my job. My job is interesting. My job is boring. My job is stressful. My job is easy. My job is difficult. My job is creative.
For example, my job is stressful, but the salary is good. Or my job is easy, but the salary is low. You can also say, I'm happy with my job, or I'm not happy with my job.
Let's do a mini dialogue with some of this vocabulary. Listen and see how the phrases work together in a real conversation.
Hey Maya, what do you do?
I'm a content creator. I work from home. And I make videos and podcasts to help people learn English.
That's cool. Do you like your job?
Yes, I do. It's fun and creative, but sometimes it's stressful. And you? What do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I work in a language school. I start work at 8 and finish at 4. The job is interesting, and my colleagues are nice, but the salary could be better.
That's a very polite way to say not enough money.
Very polite.
Now let's talk about different types of work contracts. Many people have a full-time job. Full-time usually means around 35 to 40 hours per week. Some people have a part-time job. Part-time is fewer hours, maybe 10, 20, or 25 hours per week.
For example, I have a full-time job at an office, or I have a part-time job in a cafe. Part-time jobs are common for students or people who have other responsibilities.
Another type is internship. An intern is usually a student or a new graduate who works in a company for a short time to learn and get experience. Sometimes interns get money, sometimes not. For example, I'm doing an internship in a marketing company.
Now, how do you talk about your tasks at work? Tasks are the things you do. For example, I answer emails. I make phone calls. I have meetings. I write reports. I help customers. I design websites. I fix machines. I manage a team.
If someone asks, "What do you do at work?" you can answer with these simple sentences. For example, I work in a call center. I answer phone calls and help customers. Or I work in a restaurant. I take orders and serve food.
And now, one of the most important and popular topics, problems at work. Because every workplace has problems. Let's look at some useful phrases.
Problem 1. Long hours. You can say, I work long hours, or I often work overtime. Overtime is extra time after your normal working hours. For example, I finish at 5, but today I worked until 8. I did 3 hours of overtime.
Problem 2, stress. You can say, my job is stressful. I feel stressed at work. Or, there is a lot of pressure at work. Pressure is that feeling when you have many tasks, many deadlines, and not enough time.
Problem 3. Bad boss. So useful. You can say, my boss is difficult, or my boss is very demanding. Demanding means your boss wants a lot from you. You can also say, my boss doesn't listen, or my boss is never satisfied.
Problem 4. Bad work-life balance. Work-life balance is the balance between your job and your personal life. You can say, I don't have a good work-life balance, or I want a better work-life balance. That means you want more time for yourself, your family, your friends, your hobbies.
But there are also good things at work. For example, I have a nice team. My colleagues are friendly. My boss is supportive. The atmosphere is good. Atmosphere means the general feeling in the workplace.
And of course, we have free coffee. This is very important. Then everyone says, I love this company.
Let's talk about the different places you can work. First, the office. In an office, you usually have a desk, a computer, maybe a phone. You answer emails, write documents, join meetings, cry quietly inside. I mean, work.
In a restaurant, your workplace is the kitchen and the dining area. You have waiters, cooks or chefs, and customers. Common tasks are taking orders, serving food, cleaning tables, washing dishes, and handling payments.
In a shop or store, your workplace is the shop floor or the counter. You help customers, answer questions, put products on shelves, and work at the cash register. You can say, I work in a clothing store, or I work in a supermarket.
In a hospital, you can be a doctor, a nurse, a receptionist, or a technician. You take care of patients, give medicine, do tests, or help organize appointments.
And of course, some people don't have a fixed workplace. For example, delivery drivers, construction workers, photographers, plumbers, and so on. They move around during the day. You can say, I work on different sites, or I travel a lot for work.
Speaking of travel, many jobs today are global. So English in the workplace is very important. You have international colleagues, international clients, international emails. You don't need perfect English, but simple, clear English is very useful.
You can use simple phrases like, can you repeat that, please? Can you speak more slowly, please? I don't understand. Can you explain that, please? Can you send me an email?
These are perfect in meetings or calls. Clear, easy English is better than complicated English with mistakes. And nobody will be angry if you ask for clarification. It's normal.
We also need some vocabulary for job interviews. To get a job, you usually have a job interview. You can say, I have a job interview tomorrow, or I had an interview last week. At a job interview, you talk about your experience, your skills, and why you want the job.
Experience is what you did before. For example, I have 2 years of experience in customer service, or I have experience in sales. Skills are the things you can do. For example, communication skills, computer skills, language skills, management skills.
You will hear the question, why do you want this job? A lot. You can answer with simple sentences. For example, I want this job because I like working with people. Or I want this job because I'm interested in this field. Or I want this job because I want to learn and grow.
We also talk about career. A career is not just one job. It is your professional life over many years. For example, I want a career in IT, or I want a career in education, or she has a long career as a doctor.
Sometimes you want to change your job or your career. You can say, I want to change jobs, or I'm thinking about a career change. Maybe you work in finance now, but you want to move to design. That is a career change.
And when you stop working forever at the end of your career, that is retirement. You can say, my father is retired, or she wants to retire at 60.
Let's do another small conversation. This time about job satisfaction. That means how happy you are with your job.
Hey, Maya, are you happy with your job right now?
Yes, mostly. I like my work. It's creative and flexible, and I don't have a strict boss. But sometimes I work long hours, and I feel tired.
I understand. For me, I enjoy teaching. I like my students, and I like helping people. But sometimes there is a lot of paperwork, and that is not very fun.
Paperwork is never fun.
Never.
Now, let's look at some very useful expressions for problems and solutions at work. For example, I am very busy. I have too much work. I have a deadline. I can't finish this today. I need help.
And for solutions. Can you help me with this? Let's do it together. Let's talk about it. Let's take a break. Let's make a plan.
Simple phrases, but very powerful. For example, I have a deadline tomorrow, and I'm very busy. Can you help me with this? This is polite and clear.
Also, talking about your future plans is important. You can say, I want to get a better job. I want to learn new skills. I want to get a promotion. I want to start my own business.
A promotion means you move to a higher position in the company. Maybe more money, more responsibilities. You can say, I got a promotion, or I want to get a promotion.
And start my own business is when you become your own boss. For example, open a cafe, start an online store, start your own company. You can say, one day, I want to start my own business.
Let's imagine Theo as his own boss. He wakes up at 10, drinks coffee, and says, my employee is amazing. His employee is also him.
I would be employee of the month every month.
Now, to finish, let's review some of the most important words from today. Job, workplace, office, boss, colleague or coworker, meeting, salary or pay, overtime, shift, full-time, part-time, internship, experience, skills, career, promotion, retirement.
And some useful sentences. What do you do? I work from home. I start work at. I finish work at. I like my job. My job is stressful. I'm looking for a job. I have a job interview.
You don't need to be perfect with all of these today. But now you have a base to talk about jobs and the workplace in simple English. You can describe your job, ask about other people's jobs, and talk about what you like or don't like.
If this episode helped you, subscribe to Sidekick English, like this podcast, and share it with a friend, a colleague, or that coworker who always complains about their job. Maybe this will help them complain in English.
And tell us in the comments, what do you do? Do you like your job? Or what is your dream job? Use the vocabulary from today. Keep it simple. We love reading your answers.
Remember, your English does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be used. And we are here to be your sidekick on this journey.
Thanks for listening. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.